Today I want to continue it. Perhaps you may have heard these things before, and yet since this is a very special subject, sometimes people take it very lightly, and some other people might think it is very difficult. However, it is better for us to clarify some of these beliefs. At the very outset we mentioned we have to practice certain things to prepare our mind to attain jhana. And also we have to remember jhanas themselves are not full enlightenment. Jhanas are another set of attainments which leads to attainment of liberation. Therefore we must make the distinction between jhana and the stages of enlightenment. Sometimes people confuse these two attainments. Anyway, for both we need we need to practice moral principles, and that is the basis of both practices, whether we attain jhana or stages of enlightenment called path and fruition, magga phala. I mentioned at the very beginning the very basic precepts we have to observe are the 5 precepts. 5 precepts themselves are not necessarily Buddhist practice, although Buddhist people observe them. These precepts were existing even in the time of the Buddha, before even the Buddha came into existence. Abstaining from killing, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from lying, and abstaining from intoxicants. These are the 5 precepts. Anybody can observe them. Anybody can abstain from killing. One does not necessarily have to be a Buddhist. Anybody can abstain from stealing. Anybody can abstain from sexual misconduct. Anybody can abstain from telling lies. Anybody can abstain from intoxicants. And therefore even the Buddha's attainment of enlightenment, Buddha came to the scene. There were people attaining jhanas. So Buddha systematized it. Therefore he said to attain jhanas, one has to have this at least simple, basic moral principles. Why is that? You remember, we will talk about them later on, 5 hindrances. Before going to those specific, when you try to gain concentration, gain jhana, when you try to calm your mind, you have some difficulties, particularly anger, greed, restlessness and worry, uncertainty, doubt. Uh, these things can arise. The mind gets agitated, excited. And remembering certain things that you have done in the past, unmindful, you regret. All these will be hindrances for attaining Jhana. And therefore, when these are subsided, or if somebody determined not to commit them, even if someone has committed them, determine, decide, think, when I was unmindful, these things happen. From now onward, I will not get into those things. I will not commit those things. At least with this determination, one can start the practice. If there are no such things, there will not be any problem. The person does not have to wish to be free from remorse. That is one thing when we have a very good moral background, when come to meditation, naturally mind is free from remorse. One does not even have to wish. It arises naturally. It is sort of an automated system. Almost automatically, mind is full of, free from remorse. When the mind is free from remorse, one does not have to wish to be full of joy. Joy arises naturally. When joy arises, one does not have to wish to have rapture or happiness. What is the difference between these two? Joy and happiness. Joy is in anticipation of something. Joy arises. Happiness arises when that anticipated thing is fulfilled, satisfied. Then happiness arises. For instance, there's a very famous simile. Suppose somebody is traveling in a desert, tired, weary, thirsty, hungry, no water, no shade, no directions, full of worries. Then he sees a man coming towards him with wet hair, wet clothes, fresh face, dripping water, and very, very glad, happy, relaxed. So this tired, weary person would ask him, how come I am also traveling in the same desert? How come your body is wet, clothes is wet, fresh face, hair is wet? And he would say, Mister, I have seen an oasis beautiful lake in the desert, green, clean blue water, full of lotus. I jumped into it, swam in it, ate lotus fruits and lotus buds, spent a lot of time swimming, drinking, relaxing, and that is why I am like this. Hearing that this person who is tired, will be very full of joy. Full of joy. Because now he knows that there is a lake, pond. As he moves forward to the direction this man came from, he suddenly sees birds flying to that area. Further he walks, he hears children making noise. Wherever there are children, you hear the noise, children noise. And going further, he can hear them jumping into water, playing with water, even talking and swimming. Going further up, he sees the lake. All this time his joy increases, little by little by little. And then finally he jumps into the water, just like the other man. He would swim, drink, because fresh water is coming from the water or the lake. And he eats lotus buds, lotus roots, and refresh himself after spending a lot of time in the water, comes to the bank of this pond or river, what you call lake, and lie down on the bank, stretching his hands and legs, saying, what a joy, what a happiness. That is happiness. You can see the difference between joy and happiness. Joy is increasing slowly, slowly, slowly. When he fulfills his thirst, quenches thirst, hunger, refreshed himself, he is full of happiness, content. But this joy and happiness in ordinary life, in the mundane life, makes you not calm. When joy arises, you get excited. When you are happy, you are excited. Jumping up and down, laughing, talking, kissing, hugging, even crying. You say, I'm so happy. But when we practice spiritual meditation, joy arises, making your body and mind calm, relaxed. When happiness arises, that calmness and relaxed state is confirmed. And mind becomes very, very relaxed, very peaceful. Then you don't have to wish to be calm. Why? As a result of your happiness, your rapture, body and mind become calm. When body and mind becomes calm, you don't have to wish to gain concentration, because it happens naturally. When you meditate, if you want to gain concentration, these are the steps you have to follow. When you follow these steps, concentration arises naturally, without great struggle. People always talk, I cannot concentrate, The more you struggle, harder you work, farther away goes concentration. If you follow the steps and take it easy, not become complacent, but alert, awake, watch what is happening in your mind. When you gain concentration, you don't have to wish to see things exactly as they are. Things appear in your mind very naturally. Even you don't wish, things, truth, reality appears in your mind. What is this reality? What is this reality? I think I have repeated this thousands and thousands of times. Probably you might be tired of it. What is that? Impermanence. Impermanence. It naturally appears in our mind. We experience, we see, whatever we experience is changing, appearing and disappearing. Think about it very carefully. Perhaps may not be now, when your mind is calm, relaxed, peaceful, or when you are home, when you go to bed. Closing your eyes, think about it. Think about, focus your mind on your experience. The words that escape my lips right now are impermanent. Where are they? Once they goes out of my mouth, these sounds disappear. When I make sound appears. This instant you experience impermanence of this sound. Not only sound, taste, smell, touch, sight, thought. While tasting, you watch your eating. When you eat something, eat mindfully. You see the taste is changing. The food in the mouth is changing, mixing with saliva, going into the stomach through your esophagus. And then there also it goes on process of change to assimilate its essence, to make us alive. And then it eventually goes out. The process of change, process of impermanence is always there. When we have deep concentration, very, very subtle changes we can notice. We don't have to wish to notice them before we gain concentration. And then what we previously thought to be permanent appears to be impermanent. Our desire to cling to something also changes. And what we thought previously very pleasant, beautiful, attractive, is no longer pleasant, beautiful, attractive. Changed. So, then we have a clear comprehension. Now, we have moral background, and then we have to have a clear understanding, clear comprehension. Both are required for both kind of meditation. Tranquility meditation, Jhana meditation, and vipassana meditation. Mindfulness and clear comprehension are the hallmark of our practice. Moral background is absolutely necessary. What is clear comprehension? Clear comprehension is understanding the purpose, why we practice this, why we practice. Not for gain, not for just a pastime as a hobby, or to become famous, or gain some kind of material gains, not to show off, but to achieve a goal, a purpose. What is the purpose of gaining concentration or jhana and insight? What is the purpose? The purpose, friends, is to see us as we are. To see us as we are, not for anything else. It is called yatha bhuta jnana darsana. To see things exactly as they are. Yatha bhuta. Jnana darsana. Knowledge and vision of things as they really are. Why is that? Because of not seeing things as they really are, we are confused, deluded, full of agitation, anxiety, worry, fear, frustration. Why? We don't see things exactly as they are. Whether we attain jhana or whether we practice vipassana, our goal is to be free from this nagging problem, to clean the mind, to see things exactly as they are, then we gain understanding. Because of not understanding, we have all these problems in our life. So that is the purpose. Then we must clearly understand that. We must clearly understand this purpose. This is very serious practice that would encourage us to devote our time to this practice. Then we have to have a suitable subject, suitable for this attainment. What is the suitable subject? Suitable subject, people think of various things according to their temperament, personality, emotions and intellectual capacity and so forth and so on. It may not be very easy for anybody to select a particular subject to meet all these requirements. Therefore, one subject is suitable for everybody. That subject is the breath. Very simple. Everybody breathe. It is very unconfused, very clear, easily usable practice, usable subject. It is there all the time. I don't have to say anything about it. Very simple. This we must ask, is this suitable for attaining that state? Is this suitable for gaining concentration? Is this suitable for gaining insight? We must ask. Any question you ask about it, answer is yes. It is suitable. It is suitable for gaining concentration. Why? You just pay attention to your breath, no details, just pay attention to breath, very seriously, without using words, concepts, ideas, preconceived notions, you pay attention. Pay attention while you are breathing. This is what we call participatory observation. You participate in breathing, you have to breathe to notice it, since everybody is breathing. Keep simply paying attention, and you feel the variations of breath, inhaling, exhaling, long, short, and so forth, gross and subtle breath, and you see slowly, your breath becomes calm and calm and calm. Your hindrances slowly fades away, and then mind also at the same time becomes clear, and you gain concentration. When you gain concentration, all the wholesome mental states are working together in unison. To make it right concentration, we have to have a right understanding, as I mentioned at the beginning. right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness we need. We practice these things not in one sitting. We practice them all our life. We cannot jump. Without all these 7 steps of the Noble Eightfold Path, we will not gain right concentration. We may gain concentration, but not the right concentration. Only when we gain right concentration, we can see things as they really are. And therefore, this subject is suitable to attaining that goal. Then you have to know the domain of your practice. What is the domain? The field, the scope of our practice. The scope, field, domain is nothing but 4 foundations of mindfulness. It sounds very big. Breath is one of the 4 foundations of mindfulness because it is the body. Breath is the body, part of the body, and that is called body. Buddha himself calls it the body. Kaya anyatarang. Asasa passasu kaya anyatarang. Another body. If we use only that one, you gain concentration. That is your field, domain. You can use your feeling, you can use your consciousness, you can use your all mental states and so forth. These are the domains of concentration and mindfulness. Remember, for concentration and mindfulness, these are the domains. One of them is the breath. Then we must clearly understand that the practice mind is not confused, unconfused state, undiluted state. That means our purpose is clear, subject is suitable, domain is clear, right, and there is no confusion about it. With this, equipped with this clear comprehension, we can proceed to the practice. Then, of course, we need some time, place, and so forth. I don't want to go into those details. You have to select the place to sit and meditate. Friends, concentration you cannot gain. This kind of concentration, jhanic concentration, you cannot gain in any situation. You have to have like meditation, retreat situation is a very good situation. Although you are not completely in secluded area, but we observe silence, environment is comfortable, there are no hustle-bustle activities, good place to meditate. You can gain concentration, you can gain even jhana. If you cannot find this kind of environment, your home also is good, provided you turn off your TV, turn off your cell phone, turn your off your land phone, and if there are several people in the house, have some understanding that you want to meditate, request everybody to be quiet. You can find a place, room, uh, according to your facilities, and have quiet time. The ideal time, ideal place is Alpasadda, Alpanigosa, Vijanavata, Manusara, Seyaka, Padisallana, Sarupa. These are the qualities of quietness. Alpasadda, no sound, not very loud other activities, no human movements, and can hide away from human beings, and conducive to practicing meditation. Patisallana Sarupani, suitable for secluded meditation. If you cannot find such place and out place anywhere, home is a good place. Find a suitable place to sit and meditate. So, and then take this subject and you will see slowly, gradually you make progress. Not in one sitting, not in two sittings. Keep sitting, 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 day after day, day after day, day after day. Maybe morning, if the morning is good time, practice in the morning. If evening is good time, practice in the evening. If you have time between that, after lunch, have little rest, and then practice it. So, concentration and mindfulness. Also people confuse. Should I practice mindfulness or should I practice concentration, ending up in jhana? Friends, you can practice both of them without any problem. For instance, in the morning, your concentration is very good for some people. That time practice concentration. If the morning is not very good for concentration, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness you need even to practice concentration. But your mind is having a lot of activities. Activities are very good for mindfulness practice. Why? You can see impermanence in these activities. Pay attention to them. You can see them coming and going, coming and going, coming and going, appearing and disappearing. It's a very good subject, very good environment to practice mindfulness. Then you will see all these activities themselves. While they are going on, your mind absorbs, your mind gains understanding. This is the nature. This is the truth. I have no control over this. When you don't have control over this, you will really understand that this is the nature. Everything is moving, changing all the time. That's good. If everything is quiet and your mind is ready for gaining concentration, practice concentration. Either way, you can practice both. When the mind is ready to practice concentration meditation, jhana meditation. If that is, the time is not very quiet, practice vipassana, mindfulness. You can practice both. So, sometimes in one sitting, the beginning is very difficult. Practice vipassana. As mind gains quiet, becomes quiet and peaceful, then you gain concentration. Practice concentration. That is called concentration preceded by mindfulness. Concentration preceded by mindfulness. You start with mindfulness and then you let anything happen. You simply become aware of them changing. Then the mind is conditioned to accept these changes. You are not trying to fight them. You join them. Then you cannot fight. Accept them, let them happen. You have no control. Then after a while, all this while all this are going on, your mind becomes calm. Then you practice concentration. At the beginning, sometimes your concentration is in one sitting. Beginning concentration is very good. Start with concentration. Then later on, when you gain concentration, you begin to see those things that you had never seen before in your own mind and body. So many things are happening in our body and mind all the time. Friends, we take vacations. Does our heart take any vacation? Any lungs take vacation? Liver, kidney, blood circulation? They never take any vacation. They are going on and day and night, whether you are awake or in sleep, they are going on all the time. When you gain deep concentration, some of them you can notice. You can notice your pulsation, you can notice your heartbeat, you can notice your expansion and contraction of your lungs, you can notice your blood circulation, you can notice some cellular changes in deep concentration. I guarantee you get concentration and you will see these things happening. This machine, this incredible machine called body, is always in action, motion. It never stops until we die. Even after death, when your body is decomposing, cells are still dying. Activities. Entire life is activities. All activities. When we gain concentration, we can notice these activities. Then your mindfulness becomes very strong because you see them changing, impermanent. You see culmination of awareness of impermanence. So you start with concentration, end up in mindfulness. Then, when these two work together as partners, join together, then you attain the stream entry. This combination in Pali called Yuganadha. Yuga means two coming together. What are the two? mindfulness and concentration. Don't think these are two different schools of meditation, poles apart. One in the north hemisphere, other is south hemisphere. One in Asia, the other is America. West. No. They all are the same, two sides of the same coin, so to say. Samatha, vipassana, mindfulness and concentration are, in Buddhist tradition, the complete meditation system. If you want to know complete meditation system, these two must be together. We don't say, I am Samatha tradition, you are mindfulness tradition. You are vipassana tradition, I am Samatha tradition. Or you are inside tradition, I am outside tradition. No. These two always go together. So, don't worry whether you practice, you say you are practicing mindfulness or you are practicing concentration, you are practicing the same thing from different angles. Both must work together in order to achieve your goal. This is clear comprehension. You must clearly understand it. Friends, I am telling you very seriously, this isn't a joke. Don't think, I remember years ago, there were meditators, they say we teach only vipassana. Don't try to concentrate. When you concentrate, you become a vegetable. Cannot move, cannot talk, cannot feel, you get stuck. There was a time I'm quite familiar with the last almost 48 years I'm in the United States. I'm quite familiar in those days how meditation teachers discourage people practicing concentration. If you don't practice concentration, you practice only not the Noble Eightfold Path, but Noble Sevenfold Path. If you don't have concentration. Samma Samadhi is the eighth step of the Noble Eightfold Path. So, these two must go together. As you develop your mindfulness, you gain concentration. In the deepest state of concentration, you see the deepest mindfulness. These two must practice. So, and then the fourth method. First I say concentration preceded by mindfulness, mindfulness preceded by concentration, and then both coming together. These are the three methods. Fourth method is you are just your mind settling in. Mind settling in. You have not started with one, but intermittently you practice these two, and then the mind settled inside. That is ajjantang sannisedana in Pali. It inwardly settles down. And when the mind inwardly settles down, still your mind becomes clear, pure, sharp, and see you very clearly. You seeing, you means seeing all your five aggregates. You see your body, feeling, perception, volitions, formations of thought and consciousness operating systematically all the time. And you can see how body and mind are working together. Body is influenced by the mental states. And sometimes mental states are influenced by the physical changes, physical activities. You can see these two working together. Name and form, materiality and mentality, working together. Nama, Rupa, working together. So these are the four methods you gain when you practice meditation, this insight and mindfulness meditation. So next is to see some kind of benefits from concentration meditation. I don't think I have enough time to get into this subject. Jhana meditate, when you attain jhana, even in the first jhanic attainment, you know your thought pattern. They are called initial application of thought. This is a word you have heard over and over again in relation to jhana. I just mentioned only this one, but I should stop there. And you write your question, and I will answer them this evening. Okay? For now, perhaps this may be enough.